Supreme leader or dictator, whichever way you see it, Kim Jong-un has absolute power over an entire nation of more than 25 million people. And when you are the supreme leader, practically considered a deity by your own people, keeping you alive will always be a priority. This North Korean leader has made headlines in hundreds of media outlets multiple times due to his erratic threats against other nations and his nuclear weapons tests, which continue to this day. Information about the measures and systems used to protect Kim Jong-un is truly scarce in any media due to the country's secrecy about its internal policies and actions. To be clear and very honest, much of what you will see is not 100% verified. What is a fact is that the security of the North Korean leader is quite strong and out of the ordinary. Also, I'm almost sure that after making this video, my dreams of traveling to North Korea are completely ruled out by the regime. But what else? Get ready to learn about the 10 security systems and measures to protect Kim Jong-un. Armored luxury cars. Kim Jong-un, like his father Kim Jong-il, is a big fan of Mercedes-Benz, so he did not hesitate to acquire an S600 Pullman Guard, an armored vehicle from the S-Class line that features European-level PES-7 armor, capable of stopping anything from a 9mm pistol to 7.62 by 51mm armor-piercing rounds commonly used by modern sniper rifles. This vehicle is also equipped to withstand C4 explosions, grenades, and more. It is practically a Mercedes-Benz bunker. The vehicle has run-flat tires, allowing it to continue its journey even if hit, as well as a 90-liter self-sealing fuel tank, improved suspension and brakes, and a 5.5-liter V12 engine. However, what's interesting about this Mercedes is that the company never sold it to the North Korean leader. In fact, most countries in the world are prohibited from selling goods of any kind to the current regime. It is known that the car was purchased in China and shipped on a Togolese-flagged cargo ship. The ship turned off its tracking system for 2 weeks, and it appears the car was then sent on a Russian military cargo plane to Vladivostok before somehow reaching North Korea. Another car that has been seen used by the North Korean leader is a Range Rover L322, used to transport the leader in rural areas. The Range Rover is an off-road vehicle equipped with a 5-liter supercharged engine that produces 503 horsepower and a luxurious interior for long trips. But of all his armored cars, the most impressive is a Rolls-Royce Phantom 7. The Rolls-Royce Phantom is the king of luxury vehicles, and the armored version is only for the VIPs of the world, custom-built to perfection. The car features a luxurious interior, a magical ride, and in its armored version, unparalleled protection. Where Kim Jong-un obtained this Rolls-Royce is unknown. Private jet. When Kim needs to make long trips, he uses his own plane, an Ilyushin 62M nicknamed CHAMMAE-1. This is a Soviet-era aircraft first conceived in Russia in the 1960s, with the last ones produced in the mid-90s. It was said to be the largest plane in the world when it first flew in 1963. It is just over 50 meters long and can carry almost 200 passengers, but now very few remain in service worldwide. Inside, the plane is a true luxury suite, indicating Kim is not simple in his tastes. In general, almost all security measures for presidential planes around the world are unknown, and this particularly includes Kim Jong-un's personal plane. It is very likely that the Ilyushin 62M is equipped with countermeasures to avoid missile impacts, and it is almost certain that it internally hosts the most loyal and experienced elite North Korean bodyguards. Multiple safe houses. Kim Jong-un constantly changes residences, which we might call safe houses, although they are really super luxurious mansions spread throughout North Korea. You should know that Kim is extremely paranoid. It is rumored that the North Korean leader is terrified of being the victim of an assassination attempt and therefore constantly moves from one place to another just to make it difficult for foreign journalists or potential assassins to track him. Local newspapers and media are controlled by the North Korean government, making it really impossible to know Kim Jong-un's exact location. Elite Praetorian Guard. The Supreme Guard Command, also known as Unit 963, is the military unit responsible for ensuring the safety of the leaders. It is an elite institution close to the center of North Korean power. It is known that there are up to 7 layers of security protecting Kim Jong-un on his trips to inspect military units, factories, or farms. According to a defector from the Supreme Guard, it is one of the most airtight security blankets in the world, through which even a single ant would have difficulty passing. You have surely seen these men in action as they accompanied Kim Jong-un, running alongside his armored limousine to protect him during his visit. The command has camps located throughout the country, usually near official residences, and has a strong presence in Pyongyang. The command also oversees military figures and the party to ensure the family's security. According to sources close to Kim who have defected, this command is a force of around 100,000 people navigating various security threats the leader might face. Particularly, Office Number 6 is formed by highly experienced operatives with at least a decade of dedicated service and provides the innermost circle of protection around Kim Jong-un. They also function as a very secretive intelligence arm. Powerful allies. Despite being a hermit country, North Korea has very powerful allies that serve as an indirect threat to enemy countries. The especially important ones to mention are China and Russia, the most important counterparts of NATO allied forces. These two countries are not only on the list of the 10 most powerful armed forces on the planet, but they are also nuclear powers, so they would not allow any other country to start military actions against North Korea without a response from them. Moreover, if you are observant, you will notice that much of North Korea's current weaponry is of Soviet, Russian, or Chinese origin. So, there is not much to discuss. North Korea has 2 super bodyguards that will protect it from a foreign invasion. Nuclear bunker. Having nuclear weapons, it is almost obvious that Kim Jong-un knows he is also a potential target of other nuclear powers like the United States. So, although there is no official report on a nuclear bunker for the North Korean leader, it is likely that he has some installations or several installations that protect him from an imminent nuclear weapon impact. News.com.au says that in Pyongyang, the capital of North Korea, there are secret underground tunnel networks where his regime can hide, and some experts believe that eliminating Kim would be even more difficult than tracking down bin Laden, which sounds quite logical to me. South Korea does not seem very concerned about North Korea having bunkers for Kim, as it is reported that they developed a missile called Motors, which can reach underground bunkers. They tested the new weaponry in August 2017 and were able to vaporize an entire recreation of a reinforced bunker. The elegance of this weapon is that it can take out the North Korean leader without harming the population. Absolute power. When I say absolute power, I literally mean that. Kim Jong-un does not need any Congress or Senate to approve his decisions, which are practically orders. Many of North Korea's top military and political leaders have presumably been executed by Kim Jong-un's order for alleged betrayals of the country's ideals. Being the supreme leader, there is no mercy, not even for his own family. In 2013, multiple international media outlets reported that Kim Jong-un's uncle, Jang Song-thaek, who was practically the number 2 in North Korea and Kim's right-hand man, was executed using anti-aircraft weapons and incinerated with a flamethrower. Some rumors even say his body was devoured by a pack of dogs. This was supposedly for committing anti-state acts and double-dealing, basically planning a betrayal against the supreme leader. All photos and information about Jang Song-thaek were erased from North Korean records, and it is no secret. The North Korean government itself confirmed the execution. But if that does not seem impressive, Kim Jong-un was also supposedly involved in the murder of his own brother. Kim Jong-nam was seen as a direct successor to Kim in the event of a coup d'état. Like in an action movie, his brother was sprayed in the face with VX nerve agent by 2 women, supposedly spies, while preparing to board a flight from Kuala Lumpur, Macau, which led to his death within minutes. North Korea has denied reports that Kim ordered the assassination of his half-brother, but the leader never expressed any sentiment over his brother's death, and there were enough reasons to remove him from the dictatorial line. This action not only protected Kim Jong-un's interests for many more decades but also a possible insurrection by his brother. It is estimated that since the beginning of his government, Kim Jong-un has ordered the execution of some 300 political and military leaders, including the Vice Minister of Public Security, the Defense Minister, the Vice Prime Minister for Education, and the Vice Prime Minister of North Korea. Kim Jong-un's excrement. Kim Jong-un may be a god to the North Korean people, but he has needs like all humans. It is reported that the leader carries his own portable toilet almost everywhere he goes so as not to leave his excrement in any place he travels. This is not an invention. It was revealed by a former North Korean security official named Lee Jong-kian. And you may wonder why this security measure is taken. Well, by analyzing a sample of excrement, you can obtain the person's DNA and access information about their health, which their enemies could use to destabilize the order of their regime by revealing sensitive information. I know it sounds strange, but it's real. In fact, he is not the only world leader whose security service cares about where he defecates. A loyal army to the death. Leaving aside the topic of whether the North Korean army is very outdated or obsolete, we must understand that it is one of the most numerous, with an estimated 1.2 million active soldiers across all its military branches. The regime boasts that each and every one of them is willing to go to war with any power and give their life to protect Kim's interests. As we have said in other videos, North Korean citizens are indoctrinated from childhood to love their country and their leader to the extreme. We are not talking about just knowing the national anthem and waving the flag, but an indoctrination solely based on serving the country and protecting it from any threat. Many people who have had the opportunity to visit North Korea have reported being struck by the incredible loyalty and discipline of the North Korean people towards their leader. This loyalty is a great advantage for the North Korean regime that few countries can boast of, and for Kim Jong-un, it is a great security measure in his favor. Armored train. In North Korea, a quick way to move between provinces is by using trains. However, there are at least 20 train stations specifically built and exclusive for Kim Jong-un's arrival and use when traveling around the country, and they even have tracks that connect with China and Russia in case of a state visit. It is interesting to know that the train usually consists of 3 carriages. The first, of course, is intended for controlling the train. The middle one is supposedly where Kim is located, and the third carries all his elite bodyguards and other people in charge of his security who use modern communication equipment. The carriages where the leaders travel are completely armored, including the floor. The train has an average speed of only 60 kilometers per hour due to the added weight of the armor throughout the train. The windows are completely blacked out to avoid recognizing where the North Korean leader is sitting, and intelligence and military forces are constantly monitoring the train's route to its destination. The interior is worthy of a palace. Mahogany wood finishes, leather armchairs, and electronic systems with internet access. There is also staff in charge of attending to the leader so he can be comfortable and consume all the drinks and food he wants during the trip. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and check out this video on the screen about the most terrifying things happening in North Korea.